If I DM 50 NFL quarterbacks, how many will respond? Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and I'm excited for this one because it's a little wacky. It's a little out there, but I had this thought this afternoon, and I said, why not pursue it? Why not go for it? What's the worst that happens? So this is part one of a two-part series where I am going to be DMing 50 NFL quarterbacks. I took the top 50 sorted by yards this season, this 2023 season, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send each of them a message on Instagram and or X. Yes, I'm going to pay for a month of premium for X just so I can send these DMs. That's how dedicated I am to this content. Each quarterback is going to receive the same message. I'm going to lead with howdy, first name. I feel like I have to establish dominance a little bit there. Call them by their first name. Why not? I think howdy is unique enough. It might get their attention. I don't know. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to cut right to the point. I make NFL content on YouTube and recently published a video predicting which NFL QBs would respond to a DM. I'll link the video, but if you don't trust links in DMs from strangers, you can find it on my channel, Green Beans Go Sports, but I swear I'm my mother's best friend. Looking at you, Zach Wilson, that link is clean. If you get it, you get it. I plan on making a second video or a follow-up with any replies that I do receive from quarterbacks, which I understand is pretty unlikely. If you would like to respond with any message or comment, I will be sure to feature it in my second video. And then I'm going to wait about a week, maybe. I think that's appropriate amount of time, get through NFL Sunday and see if we have any messages. And then we will come back and I will update you, hopefully with a good update. And if not, I'll at least update you on how many of them have an Instagram. So to have a little fun with this, for this first video, I am going to make predictions on all 50 QBs at who is most likely to respond. Remember, I'm linking this video in the DM, so I haven't sent out any messages yet. And this is the list of all 50 QBs. And we'll start with the categories. At the top, we have a 100% chance they will reply. I'm feeling good about it. Then we have somewhat likely. Then we have maybe. Then we have not likely. And we have 0% chance. And we'll start here with Aaron Rodgers. And I think maybe there's a chance that Aaron Rodgers replies. He's got some free time on his hands. He seems like the dude that would get down for this sort of funny business. So we'll put him in the maybe category. Baker Mayfield, I think, is also a maybe. Young guy, but also a guy who's been in the league a little bit. Yeah, I like Baker for the maybe category. Will Levis. It is really hard to tell Will Levis right now. He's having some success. Maybe it's going to his head. I don't know. I think Will Levis, my gut is telling me that it is not likely. Jake Browning, though. Jake Browning really coming on for the Bengals, and he just seems like a down-home good guy. And I think we may get a response, somewhat likely, from Jake Browning. Bryce Young seems a little shy. He seems like the type of guy that'd read that DM and want to say something, but wouldn't maybe know what to say, or maybe he'd feel a little awkward. But judging him by his character, I think it's somewhat likely that Bryce Young sends us a message back. Dak Prescott, not a chance. He is way too focused right now. Derek Carr's another veteran. I don't know much about his social media presence, but I see him as a maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Jones doesn't even have social media, but if he does, I think it is somewhat likely that Daniel Jones replies. He's injured, got some time on his hands. Why not give the fans some interaction? Desmond Ridder has a lot of things to work on right now, respectfully, so I think it's not likely he responds. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the backup for the Browns, I mean, that smile says it all. Just because of that smile, I'm putting him in somewhat likely. We might get a response from him. If Geno Smith clicks on the link and watches at least a little bit of this video and sees behind me that I am a 12th man, then there is a 100% chance that he will reply. Jared Goff, another guy, I don't know how active he is on social media, but something about him tells me he belongs in this maybe category. Justin Herbert is physically unable to reply. He's having finger surgery today or this week. So yeah, unless he's using voice text, we're probably not going to get a response from Justin Herbert. Jalen Hurts has had a rough few weeks, so I would say we're catching him at a bad time, not likely. If DM stood for direct massage, maybe we'd hear back from Deshaun Watson, but probably not likely. Josh Allen is way too cream of the crop, 0% chance. My gut says that Justin Fields is a maybe. If Joe Burrow was still healthy and playing, I would say 0% chance, but because he's injured, I'm going to bump him up one category to not likely. Kirk Cousins, hear my call. There is a 100% chance that Kirk Cousins will respond to my message. Kenny Pickett looks like he's got to go castrate some bulls or something. He's a busy guy, 0% chance. Now, Kyler Murray is a gamer, potentially chronically online. I think it's somewhat likely that we hear back from Kyler Murray. Lamar Jackson fits perfectly into this maybe category. Jordan Love's probably still upset from Monday night. He's got a lot of work to do to get focused as they make a playoff push, so 0% chance we hear from Jordan Love. Mac Jones will probably just roll his eyes, so not likely. Gardner Minshew seems like the type of guy that might respond, somewhat likely. I know for a fact Joshua Dobbs is on the internet. He's on TikTok. He has a very strong internet presence. So I'm going to say he's going to respond. The two Vikings quarterbacks are going to respond. Buddy, there ain't no chance Patrick Mahomes is responding to me. Brock Purdy is a maybe. I have tried to get a hold of Russell Wilson in the past because of my Seahawks fandom. My dogs are actually named Russell and Wilson. That is not a joke at all. So I just know that it's not likely he responds. I don't know much about Sam Howell, but he just, it's probably not likely. I think Matthew Stafford has something like 4 or 5 kids. No, he doesn't have time for me. CJ Stroud, however, I don't think has any kids, so somewhat likely. Ryan Tannehill is still in the NFL. He's a maybe. It's kind of just like the maybe category is just kind of like the veterans in Brock Purdy. DeVito is probably getting a ton of DMs right now. What's one more? What's one more from a guy like me? We'll put DeVito in the somewhat likely category. Wouldn't be surprised if Taylor Heineke doesn't have social media, so not likely. Trevor Lawrence, maybe. I've seen some interviews lately with Tua, and he just seems like a sweetheart. So, somewhat likely. Bailey Zappi, he's not responding to me. I did mention Zach Wilson by name in the DM that I will send to every QB, so maybe that gets his attention, maybe for Zach Wilson. I feel pretty good about Aiden O'Connell. And I feel equally as bad about Garoppolo. He's not responding. I just have this feeling all the Vikings are going to be hanging out in the locker room, and they're just all the Vikings QBs are going to watch this together, and they're going to respond. Nick Mullins, 100%. Mitch Trubisky don't have time for me, 0% chance. I have a sneaky suspicion that Jameis Winston may be down to clown, just maybe. Tyson Bagent, back up for the Bears. Probably not. PJ Walker, back up for the Browns, maybe. I think PJ Walker I just have a good feeling about a maybe here. Tyrod Taylor comes off IR as DeVito is dominating for the Giants. So I will say maybe for Tyrod Taylor. I know Anthony Richardson is online. He has music videos for his rapping. So I can see him interacting with DMs a little bit. So I'm going to say somewhat likely for Anthony Richardson. Drew Lock, same explanation as Geno Smith. We are definitely getting reply from Drew Lock. Easton Stick. Remember that name. The Chargers backup who will now likely finish the season since Justin Herbert is done for the year. He's got too much to worry about this week. Not likely. And our last QB, even though you see more than one on here, is Joe Flacco, quarterback for the Browns. I can see him ending the season. 3 touchdowns, 300 yards on Sunday. He's a veteran. Put him in the maybe category. So here is our full list. As soon as I end this video, I'm going to send a DM to every quarterback that you see here. In my next video, I'll show you the process of how I send all these messages, and hopefully we get some replies that I can share with you as well. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and put any experience you have DMing these guys or anyone famous for that matter. Tell me if I'm barking up the wrong tree. I have no idea. This was fun regardless. We'll see you in part 2.